More species of fish flourishing just off the coast of South Padre Island, and a nonprofit is making that happen. Today they began their second phase of a big project out there.
Channel 5's Monica de Anda went with them to see just how they're creating the habitat for marine life.
Just 13 miles northeast of the South Padre Island jetties, the creation of an artificial reef continues.
Because it means life or death for them. And if there's no habitat for these fish, there is going to be no fish in the future.
Since 2015, Friends of RGV Reef have been creating one of the largest industrial-scale reefs, according to biologists. Today, about 200-pound piles of concrete railroad ties were dumped into the ocean, kicking off phase 2 of the reef construction.
We're building small reef for the small fish, medium-sized reef for the medium-sized fish, and big reef for the big fish. And what that does is allow these fish to carry themselves along their life stages.
Curtis Hayings says this artificial reef, which spreads across 1,600 acres, is larger than the city of South Padre Island. The reef starts at the bottom of the food web, kickstarting the entire life cycle of fish.
You have to create a structure for these fish to get out of the current, to allow them to rest, and to start to create habitat and food that will keep them on the reef and grow them through their life stages.
But the marine ecosystem that exists now wasn't there a few years ago.
We surveyed this area before any of this material was put down, and there are almost no fish in this area. It's just sand and mud on the bottom.
Marine biologist Rick Klein was a part of the creation of this project from the very beginning. He believes this reef has been crucial to the ecosystem flourishing down below.
And now you can go to reef patches and find hundreds of fish. And there are hundreds of patches in this reefing area.
At the moment, Klein says there are about 30 species in this area, all thanks to the artificial reef.
We are now experiencing reefing on an industrial scale. These railroad ties are about 700 pounds apiece, and there are tens of thousands of them in the port that are ready to be deployed.
Also benefiting from the reef is the economy of South Padre Island.
A big economic impact from not only the charter boat captains, the hotels, people coming to rent rooms to go out and fish at the reef. So yes, it's a big impact.
But the ultimate goal?
To create more habitat and to make sure that in 20 or 30 or 40 years that our kids or our grandkids can go out and catch fish.
Over the next month, more than 20 million pounds of concrete railroad ties will be added to the reef. Once this artificial reef is completed, they hope to build another somewhere else along the Gulf Coast. The Friends of RGV Reef hope that their efforts continue to pay off with the marine population continuing to grow. In South Padre Island, Monica de Anda, Channel 5 News at 6.